Hey, what's going on guys? It's SpotTheOzzie here with the pre-release version of Motorsport Manager for the PC. This is going to be an absolute treat to start a new career with you guys. I've already had a look at the game at a little bit of depth and it is amazing. At the moment, let's just get our new career started with game options. We're going to turn off tutorials, start a short season by doing 12 to 20 laps each race. Currency symbol. Unfortunately, there's no Australian currency, so we're going to stick with British pounds. Date format's going to be day, month, year because we're not American, and autosave is going to be on. For our looks, let's just add our name here, SpotTheOzzie, male, let's pick the whitest skin tone you can get. Hairstyle, let's play around. That looks pretty accurate, except I am a ringer, so we are going to pick the strawberry blonde and facial. Boom, that's pretty accurate. As for location, Australasia is the continent, as well as Australia is the day. Date of birth, let's just pick 2nd of the 3rd, 1989. Let's go with that. Our backstory is ex-driver. Well, I am a go-karter, so we can stick with that. I also do finance, and as you can see, there's different advantages to picking which backstory you have. For example, ex-engineer, part design time is less of a delay by 1 day. Driving rails up by 30 for an ex-driver. Financial, negative 5% on payments. So I'm going to stick with an ex-driver, and that's pretty much us to a dime. Okay, now we're going to start off with the 3rd tier, the European Racing Series, because I mean, let's face it, I don't think you can join these other tiers if you wanted to, but let's just make it a little bit more easy for our first season by picking the easier one to begin with. Now, the game looks quite phenomenal on my 1080 graphics card. I do have the settings on Ultra mode. Alright, so let's pick one of our teams. There's quite a few teams, as you can see, the stars indicate their performance in comparison to the others. We've got Predator, which looks pretty cool. ZRT. Bit more line with that. Archer, which looks like a Jordan from 1998, if you remember Damon Hill winning Spa in phenomenal fashion. Dragon, now looks pretty cool. Race Team China, Octane Racing, Axela, Silver, Firebird MRT, EM Eastwood Motorsport, and Garuda Racing. Now, I don't want to start off at the top of one of these main teams. I'm going to start off in Dragon, and their expected finish is 7th, and I'm going to say let's try and aim for 3rd in the championship. We've got a 3.5 million budget, which in comparison is actually, it's pretty high. It's not the lowest, but it's pretty up there, so let's go along with this team and see what we can do in an underperforming car. Always punching above our belt is the way to go. Alright, now there is so much happening in this game when you compare it to the mobile app. We have our player to begin with, which is me. I can always edit the appearance. Chairman's happiness. Our job security is low. Now if we start to underperform to the disappointment on the gauge, we might be out of a job and kicked out of the seat. Player stats 10, loyalty, nothing's really changing until we get the start of the season. Here's all the emails from pretty much anyone. There's urgent media gossip, GMA assistant, our drivers, just talking a bit about their history. Now that would be a long read if we read every single one. Let's have a read of this. This is from the chairman. It's the start of the new season, so we need to clarify just how well you think that the team is going to do this season, which sets the payment amount that I will give you after each race. I think we have the chance of achieving something decent this season. I predict that we will come 7th in the team's championship. Where do you think we'll finish? Well, let's go a little bit optimistic and go 5th, because I reckon we're able to get 3rd. So I'm hitting this season with a bit of a front foot target. Okay, let's get out of there. Got a car. Now, we don't want to change the livery. No point wasting £500,000, but let's start to have a look at designing new components. Let's look at something. Engine is a bit lacking at the moment. I want to click on these parts. As you can see, there's quite a lot of options to pick from at the moment. It's all based around our lead designer, who, if he leaves the team, will take his research with him, so that's a risk you always take. Let's have a bit of a look. Let's look at the third one here, because we want top speed 25%. Risk level is 1. Now apparently if you take too many risks, your car can get scrutineered at the end of the race and can be disqualified if it is classed as cheating. We want to go with that component. Component unknown. Let's hit build slot. There's actually quite a lot there to do, isn't there? But we're going to go build that piece. That is a lot of money to spend, but it's going to be well worth it. We'll be ready in 13 days. Now, as you can see in the fit parts component, there is a lot happening here. You can fit one piece to another car, or vice versa, and you can constantly change this around to give the benefit to one driver over the other. At the moment, we're going to leave it, even though Boateng is an unhappy driver, as his course rear wing further adjusts everything, so it's about finding a nice balance. Let's get the car set up like that. That is a bit of a worry, so let's look at that so far and run with slicks. Super soft slicks, that is. Do you want to take this session instant result? Let's just see what they come back with rather than watch it lap by lap, as that's going to take quite a long time to do. Okay, looks like we're 11th and 16th on the grid. Not a bad result given the car that we've had. Alright, today's session is the knowledge. Now we can increase your car's performance by adding practice knowledge and mechanic bonuses to each car. Alright, let's add 5% performance increase. So we get 2 to choose from. Let's pick those 2 for him. We've only got 2 to choose from for Nick Chu as well, which is race trim and super soft tyres, so let's roll with that. Now that we've got the feedback, let's adjust the car a little bit to suit them a little bit more, shall we? It seems that the downforce was great. Handling's okay. What if we bump it a little that way? I think it will aid to the car and put it back into that window between the 2 green zones and put the speed balance back to more top speed, which is what the driver already liked. Tyre choices, stick with, definitely go to wets because it is raining. Fuel options, session length 18 laps. Let's start on the 8 laps. Let's start off strong and see how we go. Now, if it's going to be raining and it's not that damp, maybe we should just stick it to intermediates and see how we go. As you can see, the tyres get chewed up depending upon how many sessions they do. So that's pretty realistic, and you've only got a certain set amount to choose from, which I think in a longer race weekend, you'd probably go through and chew out different sets of tyres, and you've got to select them as you go through rather than only have 1 or 2 sets left for the race. Fuel options are good. Confirm that driver. Alright, let's change the setup for Nick Chu. Now we're going to have to get this car back in the window. Again, I'm going to stick him on intermediates. First couple laps, let's put the maximum amount of fuel. Let's get that handling back in the window, shall we? I know it's going to be a bit hard to put Chu's car in the window. 68% optimum. I guess if you really wanted to do each practice session, you could really pick off the feedback and pick the better car setup. But we are going to stick with, oh, here's some pre-session setups. So we're going to stick with that setup just for now. Driver strategy. Leave them at neutral and medium because we can change that during the race. Now we want to get 13th or above. That is our goal for today. Suit the weather conditions. I don't know. It just tells us that it's going to get wet. Let's go with that. William Evans qualifies first, the Australian. Cool. Alright, we are in 6th and we are also in 16th. Alright, now the first lap's going to be a bit havoc. It looks like everyone's gone on dry tyres except for us. As you can see on the left hand side, it shows us all their tyre strategies, but hopefully we can conserve enough and it rains a little bit to give us the advantage. And while we start this race, I'm going to put them in driving styles to be push and also push as well, so they're engaging takeovers at the start. I may push back a little bit as the race goes on. We're already off to a good start. Chu is sitting in 8th and Tang's sitting in 15th. They're acting a bit like safety cars at the moment, pulling the pack up, but like I said, I'm hoping this is going to get wetter and wetter, and it looks like it is. By lap 4 it should be about 1/3 wet, at least on the track in terms of dampness. So if they have to pit, we should be able to jump a few cars here. We'll let them keep going. The fastest time's been set. Now you can pick the strategy, and you can also look at how all the other cars are going as well with their strategies as well. It looks like everyone's in high engaged race mode, which is going to have different wears on the cars. As you can see, there's different conditions of each component. Now Chu was back in 18th and Tang's in 20th. It's starting to get a little bit wetter. That's exactly what we want. The forecast is still raining for the next couple of laps. Now we're back to second last and last, but will this strategy pay off? This is going to be a huge gamble. I might just put it in fast forward mode, just so we can catch up a little bit on the action. We haven't received any feedback from the drivers yet, which will come up live on the left and right hand side screen and give us their feedback if they think the car's working with the setup. But yeah, as you can see, it looks like Tang's actually passed Chu. We're not losing too much time from the guys in front of us either. We're just starting to engage with them now, which is a good sign for us. And it looks like some of them are starting to pit, so it looks like the strategy has paid off into 16th and 17th. And everyone else's tyre wear starting to waver pretty thin at the moment. With Chu, it looks like his tyres are really starting to chew up, so I might just slow it down a little bit and break that down. You can kind of see the wear right there, it's down to 14%, so I'm definitely going to have to pit for Chu. I'm going to have to go back in for intermediate tyres. Would it be worth fueling up? I think it would be. Let's just fuel up while we're still deciding what to do with our strategy. This is pretty cool. So you can add fuel as you go in. It's going to add time. Our pitch strategy, I'm going to do a risky strategy to knock off 2 seconds. And pit. As for Tang, I'm going to say to him, let's go neutral. So we're not eating, or let's conserve so we're not eating the tyres, and that way we'll have a bit of a different avenue of attack if the track temperatures change at all. Yeah, it looks like some of these front guys are going to have to start pitting for new tyres, and that's what they're doing now. So hopefully Tang's going to be able to come out in front. Alright, looks like everyone's in and Tang's going to be able to push up a little bit here. He moves into 9th, 4th position, 3rd position, 2nd position. That is, it's paid off to a degree if we can just keep this in line at the moment. Tang is in 2nd position. He's currently on 30% tyres. I might get him to push in a second depending upon the weather. See if we can make an adjustment. It might be worth going back down to slicks if we can just hold off one more lap. Now if I put him into conserve mode, leave him there, he's not going to wear tear the car. All the components look okay. And let's have a look at our Chew buddy. All the way back in 13th at the moment. He's in a bit of a pack situation. I've gone into on medium into push, which is good. Looks like the track might dry out a little bit, so it might be worth pushing on these tyres to see if we can get the most out of them. How's 10 going? His track's at pretty much 10%, and the track dampness up ahead looks like it changes a little bit. Looks like it's going to get drier again. It's hard to know at the moment. However, yeah, I think it's going to dry up, as you can see on the forecast. So I'm just going to pause this for a second, look at the forecast. Can see that in the next 3 laps it dries up. There might be a little bit of rain, but the temperature is going to rise. So I'm going to change his tyres down to something else. But on the way in, I'm going to get him to attack, which is going to chew up his tyres. That's okay, because we're going to change them. I'm going to pit for, let's go soft tyres, because we want to try and get 6 to 8 laps out of them. And let's have a look at his fuel options. We're definitely going to have to stop the fuel, so let's fill him all the way up. Strategy, I want to put him on the fast strategy to see if he can get out in time. There's probably no need to fix the engine, see if we can live on that, being at 30%. Fixing it up to 40 is probably not worth it if it's going to add 15 seconds. So let's continue with him at the moment. And while we're doing that, see how Chew's going. Let's get him to start pushing and really start to attack. If the track is indeed going to dry up, it looks like it might get wet again. I might just pause again just before he goes in the pit. It looks like by lap 9 it's going to start raining again, so I'm actually going to go in and change his stop now to intermediates. Given that new time, let's fill him up. Park condition, fast strategy, let's go. See if we can make the most out of the situation. This is pretty exciting stuff. He's missed the pit lane, what? I don't know what just happened. I think because I cancelled it and redid it, it sent him out again. That's not great. That's really bad, actually, because he's going to get caught back up now. But we'll see if we can get away with that one. Chew's currently in 10th, and he's pushing on as we speak. Look at him go. He's picking up time. He's closing in on number 9, which is Rogers. He's currently locked up. As you can see, there's a radio message. That was a horrible lock-up. My bad. He's apologised to the team. That's all right. At the moment, Tang's tyres is literally on low. He's going to start really getting crunched here. This is going to be devastating. He's got 11 laps to go and people are starting to pass him left, right and centre. He needs to go on the pits. Please be pitting, please be pitting, please be pitting. Finally he goes in. Alright. That's alright. Bit of a sacrifice, but that's okay. We've got Chew's currently on 29%. I think we're pretty comfortable for the fact that our target is 30th or above. Both cars currently in that order at the moment. Looks like Chew's going to come out. Less tyres. Might just look at the strategy for Tang and get him to push. And let's have a look at Chew. At the moment, can't complain. Everything looks to be in order. That's a good call. I'm going to ignore that just to keep playing this out to see what the weather's doing. And it looks like it jumps back up after a couple of laps. So I'm going to get Chew to pit, given up that he's chewed his tyres. Chew has chewed up his tyres, if you know what I mean. Pit strategy. Let's do a complete fill up. 9 laps. And get him to go out again. Are there any concerns with his parts? Not really. Nothing worth fixing or pushing us back far enough, so let's get him to go back out. Alright, what is Tang doing? he looks to be going okay at the moment. There's a couple of different strategies. We've got intermediate tires for the leader, softs for second, third and fourth. Looks like there's a couple of different things, but as you can see, it's going to get wetter after this lap. It's just going to keep getting wetter and wetter on the track, so it's better to be safe in this position if we possibly can. Despite the fact that temperatures might be rising, it will keep raining. Let's look at Chu. He's dropping places at the moment. He's got new tyres. I might just get him to push and put him back on high, as we want to finish with possibly one more pit stop. The idea here is to minimise pit stops as much as we can, and he's got 6 laps to go, so we can just do a quick splash and dash when he comes in next, and maybe not push as much on the tyres. He's going to come into 8th position. That's great for us. El Sanat, who's currently used up his tyres in 9th position, is going to have to go in now. And it looks like we're on a pretty good strategy at the moment. The guys in front of us are on new intermediates, but we're still aiming for around that 6th, 7th mark at the moment, with all the other teams having probably better cars and have probably reacted better with the strategies. It looks like 8th has an issue. Has a mechanical failure at the moment, so there's Chu. Now at this rate, I should be able to finish both drivers with one more stop. Given that they're pushing, I might just look at the conditions of both. Looks like Teng's cars, his engine's in a bit of a critical position, and as for Chu, his is holding up at the moment. Teng's tyres are starting to be chewed up a little bit more, and his pace at the moment, if we hold tab, is he catching? Looks like the gap is declining quite significantly as he just passes a car that was just in the pits. The lap times are a little down from the leaders, but that's alright, because we're just looking to be conservative at the moment. We don't want to push too much. Teng's tyres are pretty chewed up. I might get him to stop what he's doing, go to medium, and go to conserve mode. Now if I can get Teng to do one more stop, one more lap, he should only have to do one more stop without pushing too much. And that's what we're going to try to do here. I've also stopped with the engine mode down to medium, as I don't want him to push too much as we speak, because at the moment his engine looks a little faulty and we don't want to keep pressing that issue. How's Chu going? He's still in 10th position, 49%. He's alright to keep pushing as it is. Conditions are great. I actually might get him to put in overtake mode. Now I want to finish him off with pushing the tyres a little bit. Let's get him to pit. It's just going to keep getting wetter, so I think intermediates is the way to go because it's not too wet. Another set of intermediates, parts condition, 15 seconds. It's probably not worth doing that at the moment. Let's have a look at the strategy. Fastest, yep, I'm happy with that. Fuel options, we're going to have to fill him all the way to the top. 5.63 laps with 5 laps remaining after this pit stop, so that should be enough just to see him through. Right, so it looks like Chu is going to try and track down 9th place. Let's have a look at the standings. He's up into 8th. He's slightly gaining. If you look at that time, he's just under a second now. He's slightly gaining. And you can see from the sector splits, usually the sector splits here to show you if he's going faster or slower at each sector. I'm going to get Chu to keep pushing. The cost of more fuel, yeah, that's fine. Hopefully some of the guys in front still have to pit, and Tang will be able to take a couple more places, but we are comfortable given that we are going to hit our target of 13th or above, which is great for us. Chu at the moment definitely needs to come in this lap. So I'm going to set him up on a brand new set of tyres again. Fueling options. We're going to flick him up to 4 laps remaining. There we go, bang. Let's go with that. Nothing worth to fix. Fast strategy, pit. Ooh, looks like Tang's car's in a bit of trouble. With the engine as a bit of a problem, that gamble might not pay off at the moment because it looks like he might have a mechanical failure. Is it worth pulling him in? Depends. Let's have a look at a bit of it. I'm going to have to pull him in, unfortunately. We're just going to stuff up our stop. Park condition fix. Can we do tyres while that's also being changed? No, it's going to add to the time. Let's just do the engine. Unfortunately, it's going to take 17 seconds. Stick to those tyres because we don't need anything else. We've got enough fuel. Fast pit stop strategy. Let's go in. Unfortunately, Tang is going to have to push back from there. Very unfortunate for Tang, but Chu's still in 7th position. He might be able to make something of it. He's going to be our go-to guy. He's currently coming in the pits. None of his parts look like they're going to be in a condition he might be able to finish off. Let's have a little bit look at the pits. It looks like there might be a bit of an issue here, which I'm sure they'll fix. The car's submerging as they go in the pit lane. And it looks like we've actually come out in front of Rogers through the pit stop. So that was great work by our team there. And he's got brand new tyres, so I'm going to get him to absolutely attack. He should have enough to go. Engine and afterburn mode. He has excess fuel, so that's fine. Alright, let's look at Tang. What's his story? We want to try and get him as high as we possibly can just to finish in the points. Surprised there's been no safety car yet, which would have come into effect for a huge, huge effect with strategy, but unfortunately that's not the case. Tang might be able to get in the top 13, but Chu's going to be our guy today who takes it to them. We've got 3 laps to go. Tyre wear's good, fuel wear's good. He's still got enough fuels. Tang at the moment might not have enough fuel. He's just reporting his tyre degradation is pretty bad. We might just get him back onto medium. There's no point pushing at the moment. There's no one around him. 16th isn't going to really put any pressure on him. The guy in front of him, how far in front of him? It's an 8-second gap. He's not going to bring that down, so let's just go into conserve mode. I'll bring it down to low mode if I have to, but at the moment I shouldn't. Chu looks like he's gone into 5th, putting in phenomenal pace. There you go. He's still... That's Eldest Sadat who's got worse tyres. As you can see, the leader's on worse tyres as well, so we might be able to make 2 positions here. He's got a lap and a little bit of fuel to go, so I'm going to put him on overtake mode and put him onto the push strategy. Okay, we're going to ignore that. Chu's currently in 5th. If we pit, he's definitely going to lose that. It looks like the gearbox might have an issue, but there's no point pitting on the last lap as he comes around for that remaining period. And it looks like there is a few issues. Even 4th at the moment has a bit of an issue. Let's put him back down to conserve and low, just to see if that's going to stop that issue. I guess we can put him on to push mode, neutral, engine mode. Let's just leave it in the conserve mode. At the moment, what is Tang doing? Tang is very low on fuel. He's only got half a lap to go. I've left him on the wrong strategy for too long. He might not be able to finish. Chu's definitely going to finish, but I believe. He's literally coming through on a smelly, oily rag of fuel with 0.13 laps to go. Hopefully he can just make the line for 5th place, but that is a phenomenal result for our team. Picking up 5th with 0.000 fuel left. That is phenomenal. Let's look at... Dang, is he going to be able to finish here? I don't know. He's in 12th position. Slowly coming around. Please finish for us. That's what we want. We don't want him to end here if we can hold it. 12th is still a pretty viable spot. It looks like the engine's starting to cough. As he slowly comes around the corner, he's blocking 14th in position. Who is 14th? Dembele. And 13th and 5th. That is a great result for our team. Despite our setbacks of bad parts and everything, we've done pretty well for ourselves. I'm going to be happy with that. Starting to lose my voice, unfortunately, guys. And I might just put it onto speed mode just to see when the last car's going to finish. Looks like Beauchamp is going to be finish on pole. Antonio had 0 tire degradation, so we couldn't push him unfortunately due to our mechanical faults, but that's okay because I'm very happy with that. Now let's have a look at the tire history. As you can see, there's quite a bit of a different graph here. Ours, again, is going to be very different. Intermediate, where other people had soft and soft, and then intermediates. There was live timings, tire selection for the weekends, commentary feed, which is really cool as well. Standings, event results. So look, team standings. We're coming 4th, 24 points, just behind Firebird. Scrutineering, as I told you earlier, if you tingle with the cars too much, you put them at a bit of a risk. No rules broken. Risk of rule break is low for us anyway. And I'm really happy with that. That's actually a good race weekend for our team. To come away, and here's all the media releases we want to load up. Anyway guys, I might leave that as part 1 of our gameplay video. I hope you liked that introduction. I am going to go on to play part 2 and do a bit of a recording there for you as well and upload it. If you like this series, please hit that subscribe button, because I'll be uploading these every day to every second day, as I already know, I'm going to be addicted to playing this game. So please definitely get your hands on a copy. I'd highly recommend it. It's looking to be a great game. It looks like a really polished version of the mobile app that they had, and I couldn't be more stoked. I think there's a huge learning curve to overcome, and a lot of things that I'm gonna have to kind of like get my head around when we go into those higher tiers of racing. So if you want to join me, hit that subscribe button and tune in next time, guys. Take it easy.